Some conspiracy theories about the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks claim that the US government and the CIA were behind the 9/11 attacks, while others merely claim that US authorities knew about the attacks but did nothing to prevent them and perhaps made the attacks even more disastrous. Even though all conspiracy theories have been refuted, they continue to haunt the internet and are gaining more and more new followers. According to the most extreme conspiracy theory, it is a big lie. There were no planes and no terrorists involved in 9/11, it was all a lie, staged by the US government and the CIA. According to certain conspiracy theorists, the attacks were intended to provide George Bush with an excuse to start a war in the Middle East to secure American access to oil. According to the proponents of this theory, the WTC and Pentagon towers were bombarded with missiles camouflaged as airplanes using holograms. Huge amounts of explosives had been placed in the towers in advance, guaranteeing their collapse. The reason that Building 7 of the World Trade Center was also blown up was that it was the secret headquarters of this CIA mission, from where the CIA could keep a close eye on whether everything went according to plan on the day itself. So Building 7 was blown up to destroy the evidence. According to conspiracy theorists, the crashed plane in Pennsylvania was also staged, the telephone conversations of the passengers on board the hijacked planes were faked, and everyone involved was employed by the CIA. This conspiracy theory is based, among other things, on the argument that the towers would never have collapsed so neatly if there had not been a controlled explosion with dynamite. According to the moderate conspiracy theory, the US government knew the attacks would take place. This conspiracy theory was very popular among the American population, and 6 years after the 9/11 attacks, a poll showed that 42% of Americans believed in some variation of this theory. According to the most likely conspiracy theory, the government used the attacks for its own interests. The US government had nothing to do with the planning or execution of the September 11 attacks, but used the attacks as an excuse to start a war in Afghanistan, Iraq, and other countries in the Middle East, including for oil interests.